Hello, Professor. My name is Richard Cifuentes, and today I'm going to share with you some information about um, language teaching and language assessment. Okay, this refers to an important procedure in the speaking process of the students. Um, and I enjoy so much this topic. I am a teacher. I work as an English teacher here in Otavalo. And I didn't realize about how important is recognize exactly what I'm doing when I'm just explaining and what I'm doing when I'm maybe giving questions or things like this. Okay. Continue. Language teaching. Language teaching. It refers to the activities that the teacher provides to students to generate knowledge in the way of the language, okay, of the speaking. Where to find it? We find it in conversations, on explanation or presentation. In my case, I like so much to speak with my students, to maybe select a specific topic and talk about it, make maybe speaking comprehension, and tasks that provides them the steps to develop their skills. Okay, what is in the planning and the weekly planning. Okay, then what about language assessment? Language assessment is related with to catch or to take in my students how they are learning, or if they are learning what I'm doing. Okay, what is the topic about? In this case, it's not exactly a grade and assessment. It's more like a conversation, maybe making questions or things like that. It concerns to where to find it. Okay, making questions or making activities to grupal activities of speaking or explanation, individual explanation or things like this. That helps me to make new guidelines in my planning, and then use it in my teaching process. Okay, in my teaching process, and it's equal with my student. Okay, to improve them, to improve their opportunities to catch what I'm teaching. Okay, then we have some differences. I'm sorry. Okay, some difference among language assessment and language teaching. I found this information in our textbook, the textbook that UTPL University provides us. I did then find so much information about the assessment, language assessment, because in some scripts or journals, it appears like language testing, and it's similar, but I did not exactly happy with with the results. Okay, okay. Um, what about task requirement? In the board, the task requirement is to generate knowledge in the students. But in the one hand, we have the language teaching that is provide resources or environment who helps my students to catch what I'm teaching or what I want to teach during a week. But in the other hand, language assessment is like guidelines that helps me to recognize how they are learning, and what are the suffixes to deal with in the future classes. The board, language teaching and language assessment in the task requirement are used to ensure what they are learning. And the purpose of the tasks are equal. Okay, I produce a language assessment to make a feedback with my students and recognize what I have to do for future sessional classes for help them and solve what is wrong. Okay, in my classes. Okay, I these are the another questions. Okay, these questions are for get more confidence in concept and purpose. Okay, I select some keywords because I didn't remember all the information, and I put here in my presentation because it helped me to remember. Okay, it's the first one. It's why does language assessment allow to improve teaching and learning? Because each language assessment is another practice of the English, of the speaking. Okay, if I say, "Oh man, John, please, how was this question, or what was the meaning, the main from the I'm sorry, the main the main idea of my presentation, my presentation. What do you think about it? Okay, it's just for rehearse what I did in my class, and it helps me a lot. It provides me a dynamic learning because it's more entertaining to speak than just writing. Okay, then number two, why do we use language assessment? We use language assessment to create a big picture, a big idea of how my students are learning, of they are catching me or my classes have to change. It's not only a point of learning diagnosis, it's not only make a test, it's create the future steps for guidance my students to I don't know, to make a good teacher. Okay, then finally, what evidence do we need to collect during the assessment? Okay, my keyword said samples of performance. What I'm expecting of my students, what they have to change with them. Maybe looking for pronunciation, looking for concepts, how they are creating concepts, how these concepts, I'm sorry, are similar or are equal with the things that I have teaching during the teaching session. How my students answers some situations and how they are catching the information. Okay, it is not like just I'm going to repeat it. I suppose that I said it before that it's not supposed just one point catch one point and then it's okay. No, it's like to stay in a continuous evaluating to change in future sessions what I'm going wrong, or maybe what is going bad in the explanation, or maybe change my teaching procedures. Maybe my class will be boring if I didn't assess it throughout the conversation with my students. Okay, it's simply be a teacher. Okay. Finally, I like so much this topic. It was very useful for me. Um, I suppose that being a good teacher, English teacher, is a big a big goal. And thank you very much for to share with us this important information. And that's all. Professor, see you later. Have a good day.